is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Yeah, it's time to empower, educate, and encourage all women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into your lane talk show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more will we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the dark. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your lane talk show with Coach Trish Hanna.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna. I am so delighted to be in your company today. We are experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties on the Facebook page. However, we are still visible on YouTube. So for those who would want to see my beautiful guest today, you can go and log on to YouTube, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna there. And then, of course, I'm going to share all the other ways that you can view us, okay? For those who are tuning in for the first time, this show is to empower, encourage, and educate women of all ages. And last week I shared how we have so many men that tune in and they discuss, outside of it's been a blessing to them and how they've learned so much, etc. So I want to shout out my male listeners. I once said last week also that this is the people's show, and I'm going to stick with that. This is the people's show, okay? This is a show where you can get to learn almost everything, who believe that certain topics should not be mentioned on the pulpit, as believers. So here's an opportunity to tune into this show where we strongly believe in our faith, but then we also believe in ensuring that we educate those who are tuning in regardless of their faith. Okay. And last week was a very, very, very good example of that. We spoke about the caregiver's heart, loving someone through Alzheimer's and dementia. We had Miss Wendy Poitier Albrecht. She's the president of the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, along with Mrs. Deidre Clark Maycock. She's a dedicated volunteer with the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association. Of course, we were recognizing the signs, understanding the disease, caring for our loved ones with dignity, teaching how to do that. We also taught and spoke about how to choose caregivers. You don't want to have any and everybody inside your home taking care of your loved ones. You want to make sure that we look for all the red flags, they say red flags, right? We look and we vet them properly and ensure that they meet the utmost criteria to be inside our homes and to take care of our loved ones. So if you want to hear more about that and some tips about that, it's episode 180. The topic is the caregiver's heart, loving someone through Alzheimer's and dementia, of course, and you can find that on YouTube on Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, all right? It was a very informative show, so go ahead and listen up for that. And of course, when you are there, please like and subscribe. Now today, ladies, we're going to talk about something that we have been longing to talk about on Guardian Radio. I know the last time I brought this subject up, it was on our sister station, Star 106. The topic was on Star 106. But this is something that we don't really hear people talk about openly, but we all absolutely need to talk about these type of things. And we're checking in on our kitties today. All right, kitty, get it? All right. No, we're not talking about your pet Ginger or your pet Sylvester at home. We're talking about that very important part of our body that has a lot to say, but sometimes we ignore the signs. Is it itching? Is it burning? Is there a strange smell? Is the discharge looking a little suspicious? Is she feeling dry? Is something hurting that shouldn't be hurting? We're putting embarrassment to the side today so that we can understand what's really going on down there, because our vagina, believe it or not, has a voice, right? And we're going to learn how to listen to it, all right? We're talking about hygiene. Talking about yeast infections, talking about UTIs, discharge, menstrual health, vaginal tightening, if we have some time, menopause, sexual health, and even some of those home remedies we heard about on TikTok. Like, these people serious? You putting that in where? What? I can't wait to ask about it. All right. And I'm not going to answer these questions by myself. We have someone that's very much versed in these type of things, and I'm going to introduce her in a moment. But before we do, I want to let you know that there's so many other ways to listen and tune in today. Okay. You can go to, of course, we're on Guardian Radio, so 96.9 FM radio dial, channel 969 on cable, BTC Flow Channel 612, the Guardian Radio app for Android or Apple. We're also on the website, www.guardiantalkradio.com. And if you want to join us, of course, you can go on YouTube today, all right? So those who want to tune in, we're on YouTube today. Not certain what's going on with Facebook, but to God be the glory. And of course, we have our radio listeners, and you can tune in there as well. So, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 181, the kitty checkup, what your vagina is trying to tell you, is brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Tropical Gyros, Your Lane Life Coaching, the Children's Dream Journal, Thompson Trading Brands, Lysol, Del Monte, and Airwick, Commonwealth Bank, and 242 Media Connect. Now, listen, with this 242 Media Connect, we have the voices, we have the talents, we have the platforms, so we're just waiting on you, all right? If you have something to say, you want to connect with people because they actually have the platforms, you're going to go to 242 Media Connect on Facebook, where you share those who have a platform and they're looking for voices, those who have voices and looking for a platform. Y'all can liaise, okay, and connect, all right, because that's the place to be, 242 Media Connect, so you can get connected today. Let's elevate the conversation in this country, y'all. Let's bring people together. We have something to say, all right? Now, here's the question I have for my audience. The question is, what's one thing about vaginal health you wish somebody had taught you growing up? What is one thing about vaginal health you wish that somebody has taught you growing up? I'm going to take a quick break, and that's only because I want to make sure that people who have been WhatsApping me and messaging me right now really know that we are actually on YouTube as well. So I'm going to give a little break. And then we go straight into introducing our guests for today. So tune in, y'all. We have a lot to say. And just before I introduce, also, I want to say, if you have a question and you want to post anonymously, if you want me to read anonymously, rather, the text number to call or to text is, make sure that it's on now before I do that, 422-GR96. 422-GR96. You have a question, but you don't want to, you don't want nobody to hear your voice. You don't want to type it on YouTube. So you can text the number 422-4796, which is GR96. Or if you want to give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, or 325-4259. All right, let's take a quick break.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. We put fashion at your feet.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This holiday season, let Airwick fill your home with the mist of happiness. Enjoy limited edition scents like apple cinnamon medley, glistening snow and frosted mint, sweet vanilla and shea butter, all infused with natural oils to bring warmth and cheer. Find Airwick's essential mist diffusers and scented oil warmers at Kelly's, Lowe's Pharmacy, Paradise Premium Foods, and Family Island locations. Airwick, activate your holiday essence.
As the summer days wind down, a new school year begins. Grab your checklist and head on over to Kelly's House and Home for their 20% off back to school sale, except on net items now through September 2nd. They have everything you need like Toto, JanSport, and character backpacks, lunch boxes, composition books, pens, pencils, calculators, and more. Spend $50 or more on school supplies and you could win one of 2 gift baskets, bicycles, a laptop computer, or a Crayola-filled stocking. Catch Kelly's House and Home's back to school sale now through Tuesday, September 2nd.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank God I can sing the way that I could talk, but praise be to God, anyone who's tuning in would know. Trishan, stick to the dancing, not the singing. Okay, I will do that. All right, so thank you for staying with us today. Now, once again, the topic, we are discussing our vaginal health, okay? And we have with us Dr. Suneetha Diyya. She's an obstetrician and gynecologist with a passion for helping women understand and take better care of their health. She specializes in women's reproductive health and is committed to proving and providing compassionate, evidence-based care to women at every stage of life. Dr. Diyya believes in creating open and comfortable spaces where women can ask their bodies without embarrassment. So today she joins us to help us better understand our vaginal health and, as we like to say, learn what the kitty is trying to tell us. Welcome, Dr. Diyya, to your Lane Talk Show.
Hi, thank you, Trishan, for having. Thank you, Guardian, for having me here, and also thank you everyone who are in the show. So this is an open conversation about our feminine health. Mm-hmm. So please open up and talk, and we can discuss about our vaginal health.
Mm-hmm. So before we begin with the questions, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to become an obstetrician and gynecologist, and what do you enjoy most about caring for women?
So actually, when I was young, my father was a doctor, but so I inspired with his abilities and qualities. Mm-hmm. So I became a doctor, and when I am doing my MBBS in rotation, when I went to the OBGYN ward, so when I see that newborn babies and when I check all these women issues and everything, I was inspired by those things. So I want to just help the women. Mm-hmm. So I am here to relieve all your myths, and what you want to know, just freely ask me, please. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, we are going to ask. Trust me. We have a lot of questions. There were a lot of people who tuned in last week and WhatsApped me and said, because I placed on my Facebook social media platforms that if you have any anonymous questions prior to, you want let me know, and then I'll ask the questions to the doc. And so we did have a few questions that
few
came
questions,
in.
okay.
Yes, and so and I have my own. So I would be delighted to just share them with you. But we want to establish first, doc, what is normal? What should a woman expect when it comes to normal, let's say, vaginal discharge? What should the scent be? Is that normal? And how normal is it to have a particular scent? If you understand my question, we want to talk also about moisture and changes throughout our menstrual cycle. So, talk to us about what is normal. What does a normal vagina look and smell like?
Yeah. So actually, what we see outside is not vagina. That is called vulva. So this is vulva means it contains labia majora and inner lips are labia minora and clitoris and urethra and vaginal opening. So this vaginal opening is one end is vagina opening outside with vaginal opening, other ending is connected to the cervix. This is vagina inside. So we are not seeing vagina, but what we see outside is vulva. So the color is variated depending upon the human melanin concentration. In fair persons, it looks like a fair. In dark persons, it look like a darkness, because it's all depends upon the melanin pigmentation. So somebody think that they use lightening creams and bleaches and everything. Please don't do anything, because it's unnecessary. You're harming your private parts. And once you come to vagina, vagina is a small, almost 3 to 5 inches of smooth muscle tube. So it can stretch up to the 8 inches, because when you have sex and everything, it stretches up to 8 inches. So when you feel inside, some patients complain about that I'm feeling some bumpy inside. So that bumpy is the folds of the mucosa of the vagina. So when you stretch, so the mucosa will stretch along with the vagina. So that's why you feel all the bumps and folds of vagina. So that is normal. And once it comes to the discharge, so discharge usually clear, milky white, sometimes gummy, sticky. Sometimes it look like a light cream color. That is normal, because our vagina is highly influenced by the hormones like estrogen and progesterone. The discharge also varies according to your menstrual cycle. Once after finishing the menstrual cycle, you see little bit clear vaginal discharge. And once you enter into the ovulation time, it is sticky and little bit plenty discharge. It is like a gummy. You can stretch up to that some centimeters or something. So, and after that, you see little bit mucoid and little bit more discharge before starting the menstrual cycle. So sometimes when it dry up, you see like a whitish, or sometimes it might be creamy color. So those are the. So once it comes to smell, yeah. So the bottom area, perineum area, had some scented glands. Usually we feel little bit musky, earthy scent or something, mild scent. So that is normal. So especially you feel little bit stronger, maybe because if you had more sweating and workouts after workouts time or something, you feel little bit more. Other than it is normal. Mild scent is normal.
So I'm hearing now, because you do hear a lot of people say that it has a fishy odor or a fishy scent.
Yeah, once a fishy odor, all those things are, it comes, you need to rule out other infections. It comes with the infection. Once you feel strong scent other than mild scent, something is different. So you need to consult your doctor, please.
And then, the semen, like obviously when the vagina is in contact with semen, it changes the pH is what, we talk to us about that. When does an odor become a reason to get checked? You said when it is off from that mild scent. But what if it's just, okay, the semen in contact with the vagina for that one time, and so it throws it off, but then it goes back.
Yes. So usually semen is alkaline. Semen itself has a little bit scent. So vagina is acidic. So once you have a intercourse, so usually mix up of acidic and alkaline happens. So there is a little bit imbalance for 1 or 2 days. After that, it's come back to normal.
Okay. So you shouldn't really have to go rush into the
No,
doctor
no,
after.
no, not at
Okay,
all.
just making sure. All right. So the question that I asked earlier was what was something that you wish you had known about the vagina growing up? And let me see, we do have an answer. Someone says, I wish someone would have told me no soap on the kitty. No soap on the kitty. That's something that we need to know, right? As far as hygiene is concerned, we don't use soaps or any harsh products on there, but we do have a lot of products out in the stores that would say, hey, it's safe to use, it's pH, balance, safe for you, and it's not going to mess up your balance and all these other things. So what are your thoughts on using soaps and anything other than water itself to clean?
Yeah. So actually, for the cleaning part, so we have to clean just only outside. Don't enter into the vagina. Vagina is a self-cleaning organ. So that's why once it clean, it comes out like a discharge. You see, right? Mucoid discharge and everything because of the cleaning process. So that's why don't put anything in the vagina, because once you put in the vagina, that harms and disrupt the pH and microbiome environment in the vagina. So anything is there, just wash outside with just plain water and take mild sensitive soap. Better prefer baby soaps because the bottom skin is so sensitive like a baby skin. So you treat that part like a baby, okay? Don't go with any fragrance, always without scent. Soaps, no fragrance soaps or anything. Sensitive cleansers, baby cleansers are best actually. Yes.
Yeah. So you'd rather the women use baby products if you're going to clean outside of using soap
outside,
itself.
just only outside, no inside.
I think for me, what I didn't know, honestly, I did not know this until about age 14, because my sister and I are 14 years apart. And I found this out when I was changing her. When they have the explosive, in their diapers, and so I changed her, and then there was a time that I had to change her again. And when I changed her again, I realized that there was still some feces like in the inner lips of her vagina.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, oh my goodness, if I'm not cleaning my baby sister properly, I'm not being cleaned properly. So for me, like, my thing then as I was just like when you're using a credit card and you just swipe. So it was just a swipe. I knew from front to back.
Front to back.
But I didn't know that you have to like open up the lips to get in those crevices.
Yeah, just for the cleaning, just only in outside, just whatever thing, so you need to clean, but in gentle way. And also don't put soap just like that. So just you dilute that and wash it. So, and one more thing, when you're washing the bottom, please wash the butthole too, on that area too, because it has any fecal matter or something, so that spread to the vagina and urethra and everything, so that causes vaginal infections and also bladder infections. So you need to be
very careful of that. And then, like she said, just being mindful of from front to back and not back to front. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about vaginal problems. When should a woman stop trying over-the-counter treatments and make an appointment with her gynecologist when there seems to be issues, like, for instance, itching and irritation? Because we realize that with women, sometimes you don't feel as if we need to go to the gynecologist all the time for everything. There are things that I've seen and noticed on TikTok that people use for home remedies. One example of that is yogurt, Greek yogurt. And believe it or not, I was supposed to show you this because someone sent it to me. They spoke about putting garlic I'm telling you. And it says that it helps with yeast infection. And there's so many more. It's like, Lord, these people, what are they doing? So, what are some things that can be done at home, if possible? And then when is the time for a woman to say, you know what, I need to go to a gynecologist right away?
Yeah. So once we're coming for the first is itching, right? So usually once you are seeing itching, just observe in the mirror. So is there any rash outside, or you are seeing any bumps or any ulcers? Sometimes it can get with the diaper rash or with the panties or something. If roughness is there, that happens. So just check it. So if you see really abnormal, please check with the doctors. And also if there is any, even itching means it's really abnormal. And also itching usually sometimes mainly infections are yeast infection and BV, trichomonas, these associated with the itching. So, and also check the discharge. Once you're feeling itching, put the panty shield and check what color of the discharge you're seeing, any discharge or something. If you are seeing any cottage cheese, thick white discharge, that means yeast infection. And if you are seeing any grayish discharge or any greenish or yellowish discharge, so any abnormal. And also scent. If you see any fishy odor or any purulent, foul smelling or something, please check with the doctor. Because I see so many patients comes with me, they go to the over the counter and they take all the self-treatment. So they end up with all mixed infections. So sometimes they took, even though they can't differentiate what is the BV and what is the yeast infection. Sometimes yeast infection in the beginning that won't show up as a cottage cheese or anything. Once we examine inside, we can see sometimes. So that's why, please don't take any self-treatment. Please consult your doctor, I'm telling you. Because you end up with the mixed infections and sometimes even though if there is any bacterial infection, if you end up with getting treatment for the yeast infection, and so unnecessarily you're putting you in trouble. Sometimes if you have any serious infections, if you have chlamydia, gonorrhea, trichomonas, sometimes what happens, they spread into the uterus, onto the fallopian tube that goes into the lower belly, pelvic area. That causes pelvic inflammatory diseases. Sometimes you end up with severe pus collections and also sometimes infertility and all these things happens. So that's why, please, always self-treatment is not advisable. Consult your doctor.
So let's go back from the scratch then. Let's go from the beginning and let's then educate on what is a yeast infection and what's the difference between and BV.
Okay. Usually the vagina having good bacteria and bad bacteria both. But good bacteria, most of the good bacteria is the lactobacilli. That is almost 70%. That maintain the pH of the vagina. That is 3. So once that environment disrupts, all the infections happens. Usually yeast is there in the vagina. So once a yeast flare up, that causes severe itching and cottage cheese-like discharge. So that is candidiasis,
So
yeast
what causes
infection.
the yeast infection?
So yeast infection is usually, sometimes especially if the immunity comes low, usually that happens. Usually sometimes during the pregnancy time, all of a sudden it happens. And also if you have recurrent, what is called diabetes or something.
Diabetes.
That also causes. And also sometimes if we are taking any antibiotics, sometimes what happens, that antibiotic disturb the vaginal flora. So sometimes so many people end up with yeast infection.
And is it contagious? So can it be spread
Usually
from
yeast infection
partner?
is not contagious. If we are really getting recurrent yeast infections, we need to better give the treatment for both partners. But it is not really contagious or anything.
Okay, so what is bacterial vaginosis?
So the same way, bacterial vaginosis too. So the vagina, good bacteria and bad bacteria. Once the environment disrupts, once you are using all the feminine products or excessive sweating, and also yeast also flare up with excessive sweating and everything too. So once we are using the tight clothings and everything, so actually the vagina need breathable panties, cotton panties. So if you feel that even panty shields also not advisable. If you think panties are getting wetting or something, you can change the panties at least 3 times or something, 2 times, depending upon your this thing. Okay. So, but panty shield, if occasionally you can use if you're going out or some things. So, but in regular basis, no panty shield. Sometimes that also flare up these yeast and BV infections. So in the BV infection, there is usually mild itching, not that serious itching like this one, yeast. But you see a little bit grayish discharge. Yeah, some discharge, you see more discharge other than some fishy water or something. Yeah, that's the BV infection.
So with the yeast is the cottage cheese, and with the BV, it's the
Grayish and fishy, some scent. You
Fishy.
feel the strong scent.
Okay, so can you talk to us then about this? Is another common. I guess you can share, but what I've researched is another common issue is UTIs
Oh,
with
UTIs.
women, right? So share what that is, urinary tract infection. Share what that is, and how we can how that can be prevented.
Yeah, see, urinary tract in the female very common because our urethra is very, very short. That is 1.5 inch or anything, something I think. Because see, in the bottom 3 openings, urethra, vagina, and butthole opening. So because if you won't maintain proper hygiene, these 2 get effects, urethra and bladder. So that's why that's a proper hygiene. So you have to drink enough water. That's the main thing. So once you get any infection, that spread to the bladder. So if you have a bladder infection, we call as a cystitis. Mainly it increases the frequency and you feel some discomfort in the lower belly after pee. And for the urethritis, you feel really burning pain when you pee. So usually patients come and they ask that, they explain to me that, so I'm feeling burning in the bottom when I pee. So we have to ask them, so when you pee coming side, you are feeling burning, or the vaginal side, when the urine fell on the vagina, you are feeling burning. So sometimes they confuse, really? There are 2 things are there? So sometimes they end up with a urinary tract infection, but sometimes end up with a vaginal infection.
Okay. All right. So when you do have that burning, because there's so many different. The last doctor I had on my show, he spoke about different way burning because of STDs. So
For the UTI,
no, not for the UTI, like burning from the vagina at large. So how can someone determine whether it's a yeast infection, BV, UTI, or an STI?
for the UTI is entirely different. Usually STIs, sometimes we can find the STI too in the urine, chlamydia, gonorrhea too. So, and also trichomonas too in the urine, we can find those 3 infections. So better do the urine culture and test for the to check for the infections, chlamydia and gonorrhea, those tests. And also for the vaginal infection, burning means for the STI, the discharge is entirely different. For the trichomonas, you feel itching and it is purulent, greenish, yellowish discharge. And for the chlamydia, gonorrhea, too, there is some purulent discharge, some not much itching in chlamydia, gonorrhea. So sometimes they might be asymptomatic, even though they don't know, but still the infection is there. So that's why we always advise, please check your vagina at least depends upon your lifestyle, sexual lifestyle. I can't say yearly because some people have different lifestyle, some people have different lifestyle. So check what is happening there. Sometimes without symptoms, they have all the infections. So we can't say, okay, you are cured. Because we see some patients that we do the test, It come positive, they say, surprise, I don't have any symptoms. How
yeah.
can it happens to me? So that's why we don't know. So that's why you have to check. Even though you don't have feeling anything abnormal, still you have to check. And one more thing is, once you are starting new relationship with your partner, please screen both of you at the
Yes.
same time. So to rule out if there is any infections, take the treatment and start fresh life.
Now, I guess you can share, this is also possible, but there are some women that speak about not having a UTI, not having BV, not having yeast infection, but still having itching. And what we've discovered is that they had an issue with the Tide or the laundry detergent.
Yeah, so that's one more
So,
thing. That's
yes.
rashes that causes rashes.
Right. So can you share that? Because I have a friend in particular who had no issue. She went to the doctor. They did all the testing. They did. So at their final, I guess, follow-up, the doctor thought about it. She's like, when was the last time you changed your laundry detergent? Or have you changed your laundry detergent? And she said, yes. So the issue for her with that, she had, she was the I wouldn't say allergic. I don't know if I use the term allergic, but she has her, I guess, the area was very sensitive to the detergent that she used. So I don't know what you would share
so
that.
because usually we use so many softeners and detergents, we want to just smell, right? So
Yeah.
please, even though for the normal clothes too, it is not advisable. Better go with the normal detergent. So, and also especially for the panties, please don't use any softener. Use mild detergent. If you want, you can wash with your hands. And also don't use dryer sheets too.
What?
Yes. It's not necessary. And use breathable cotton
Yes.
panties.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, child, I'm gonna see how to wash my underclothes separately from to smell. I don't want to use the brand name on air, but I love to smell a certain scent on my clothes. I have the obviously the detergent, the softener, and the dryer sheets for it because of that scent. And it's like you can wash it, put it in your drawer. A week after, you can still smell it.
Smell it, yeah.
But if I have to stop doing that,
Yeah, better you need to. Even though for the regular clothes, so you don't need that scent, softener scent and everything. Those are all the chemicals and everything. So try to avoid minimal chemicals. That's enough.
All right. So there was someone that messaged me. Let me see if I can get it real quick about probiotics. All right. Can you ask the doctor about probiotics and what is the best to use?
Yeah. Nowadays, everywhere we are seeing so much of probiotics and everything. So, yeah. So, usually we take the probiotics orally, usually. So, for the gut health. So, especially we advise gut health if you have any chronic diarrhea, if you are taking any antibiotics. So, we advise at that time actually. So, but regularly, if you take yogurt, it contains good lactobacilli, that is enough.
So
For
you
you,
can
just take every day because for Indian culture, usually we eat yogurt every day.
you don't need to take probiotics if
Yes.
you're taking.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Go
That
ahead.
is orally.
Right.
Once it comes to vaginally, actually, the studies are not that concrete, giving good support to them.
Right.
Because the lactobacilli, what they're putting in the vagina is different, and what the real lactobacilli in the vagina is the different. So some are trying to put the same species of lactobacilli in the pessaries, suppositories. So they are trying. We don't know.
So is that you saying we shouldn't use the yogurt,
In the vagina?
In the vagina?
No, man.
Because people swear by it, doctor. People swear by it. People swear by using the plain yogurt there to help with. These are home remedies. I know you heard about it. You hear about that all the time.
So it's not necessary. Don't put any yogurt, what you mentioned,
Coconut
the garlic,
oil.
And all those are not necessary. Because because vagina is a self-cleaning organ. You don't need anything. Just you need to maintain the healthy lifestyle. Eat proper healthy way and proper healthy sexual life. Those two are very important. Other than nothing.
So I know you said that, but I want to talk about boric acid that everyone also talks about.
Yeah.
I know you said it's self-cleaning, but we know that there are some benefits to boric acid. So you're against that as well?
Yeah, boric acid actually, studies are happened, but that too, positive or negative way. So, but mainly they are recommending only in resistant yeast infection time. So if you're getting chronic infections, yeast infections especially, so you can use the boric acid for just after taking the yeast. First, you need to confirm that is a yeast infection or not first.
Right.
After that, take the proper yeast infection treatment. Afterwards, use the boric acid for couple of 1 or 2 weeks. That's enough. But don't use unhealthy way. Yeah, I need to maintain the pH balance or something.
Oh, after sex
it's
and
not.
after
yeah,
menstrual.
after sex and
Yeah.
after menstrual. No, it's not necessary. Vagina has the efficacy to clean those natural things, semen and what you call menstrual cycle. So
Now you just knocked me all the way out because these are the things that it's so prevalent in our culture. Using boric acid, cleaning with certain mild soaps, like you said, not to using our detergent so to ensure that all of our clothes smell good, including our underwear.
No way.
So you come in here to just shut us all down today. And as you're saying, we don't necessarily have to take the probiotic supplements, vitamins, capsules, etc. We can just eat yogurt daily.
yeah, for the yogurt, for the probiotics, you don't need to just use.
And is there like a
eat
specific type of yogurt?
No, any yogurt is okay. The regular yogurt, Greek yogurt, whatever. That is yogurt is the lactobacilli in there. So if you take every day, that's good.
All right. So can we move on then? Let's move on to the periods since you mentioned it. So what is a normal period? Like the normal time frames? How should the I don't use the term. Should I use blood? Can I use that? How does the flow? Let me use the flow. How should the flow be from start as we would consider normal?
So usually flow is usually 4 to 7 days. So usually 40 to 50 ml per period is common. Means if you're changing the period every 4 to 6 hourly, that's okay. So that's no problem.
Every 4 to 6 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's no problem. And if you're passing clots, means that's excessive bleeding, and that is the flow. And some people with the flow, it all depends upon our hormonal influence too. Some people will stop the blood like that. Some people will see little bit drops for 3-4 days and stop. That's okay, no problem with that too. And what about next flow and days, right? Frequency is it is 21 days to 35 days. Frequency means every 1 days you can see, every 25 days you can see, every 30 days. So if you are seeing every 21 days and 25 days, sometimes you end up seeing period twice in a month. You understand? When you calculating like that. So just once you have a doubt, just put in the calendar and see if you are seeing every 21 days, 25 days, how frequently you are seeing. Just observe and think. So, okay, if you want, you can discuss with the doctor. That is the normal.
I have some. Well, I got your question. I will. That's further down, actually. I do have a topic about that further down in the show, I will ask the doctor for you. People are sending in WhatsApp messages for you.
Voice messages.
But I wanna stick with the period for a while. Excuse me. And so that's okay. So you said the normal period is between 3 to 7 days, and you can change your pads or tampons from
4 to
about
6
4 to
normally.
6. Okay, so what happens in situations where someone has to change more than that, more times than that?
More-
And it's more than likely, I know for me, I had fibroids, this is like 3 years ago before I got an embolization, and ridiculous. Like, I didn't want to go out my house. I didn't want to come out of my house because of fear during that time of being embarrassed because of, the clotting. Thank God that's over and done with. But what about people who may not have fibroids? Is there anything else that would cause the heavy bleeding?
Heavy bleeding is heavy bleeding. Sometimes what happens, sometimes if they skip the menstrual cycle, because skipping the menstrual cycle, so they end up with the following period heavy flow. So we have to check, is there any hormonal imbalances are happening, and also we have to rule out, is there any, what you say, fibroids, and also any polyps. So we have to rule out all those things.
Okay.
And also thyroid hormonal issues or something. So
All right. And then what are your views on, because I know you mentioned tampons, but then we know, the effects of tampons. And what are your views on using cups?
That's another
Period cups, by the way, for those who tuning in
period
may not
cups.
understand.
Usually because the sanitary napkins and these tampons are not biodegradable one. It take years, almost 500 years or something to dissolve. So that's why everybody going towards that cups. So these towards the cups. These are available in disposable and also
Do you
regular
recommend those?
reusable cups. It all depends upon the person though. So it needs some training to put inside and to take out. Sometimes take out time it might be messy. So but one thing is, it collect the blood. You can keep it for at least 12 hours. That one thing, so you can use it during the swimming time, sports time, and everything. So it is a reusable. So once you want to reusable, you need to maintain proper sterile techniques and everything. So it's all, everything has its pros and cons. So that's a person choice.
Okay, so can I share what I use? I mean, this is something that was new to me. I tried it 2 months ago and I absolutely love it. I don't know, ladies, those who are tuning in, have you ever heard about the period diapers, menstruation diapers? I've been using them.
Yeah,
You haven't?
nowadays they're coming panties.
Yes, they look like panties.
Period panties.
Yes,
Yeah,
the period
nowadays
panties.
it's coming popular.
And so, no, there's a difference now. Not the period panties, because I have those too. These are diapers that look like the pants, but they're puffy. They're very were to, like, sometimes when you bend over, sometimes you can see, if you were to bend, you can actually, it looks like panties, but they're not.
Okay.
And they're disposable, so you throw them away as soon as you
Throw
can.
it away, okay.
Game changer, okay? Life changer. I never thought, like, who would have thought? And it's most comfortable for me in the nights. So,
Yeah, especially the nights, sleeping time.
So
yeah.
it's like I don't have to worry about just sleeping on my sides, and sometimes my arms, they hurt, all these
That's
different
true,
things. So
that's
I'm
really-
able to sleep on my stomach, my back, wherever, however, and it's so comfortable. So I definitely would recommend for those who have not tried them before. I have the period panties too. I've never used them. I had them. I'm scared. I don't know if I want to try that or not. I'll try to try it at home first before I go out there. But yeah, the diapers, the
Diapers
disposable,
working. Okay.
awesome.
That's good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't feel like, you don't hear the squish.
Yeah,
like real
especially
diapers.
pads, right?
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I know.
even the pads, and
Sometimes,
it's not puffy or anything like that. It's really nice.
sometimes that gives rash and everything
Yeah.
used for longer period. Yeah, I know that with the pad.
So let me get to some of the posters here. We have, someone says, clean your toys. They can also cause irritation. Okay, thank you for that. Someone says, I have 6 children and I don't feel as tight as I used to be. Is there something I can use to make my, I guess she meant vagina, tight like I used to be before having children? We actually have a question about that. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or you want to wait till...
That's up to you.
Okay, so let me read a few others. Says, nice show, very good information. Someone says, good afternoon, coach and doctor. Thanks for the very educational and important information. And then someone says, my teenager has very bad period and usually has to be, so let's talk, because we're talking about periods now, so we can answer this one. My teenager has very bad period and usually has to be sent home from school. What would you suggest she use every month to lessen the pain?
Yeah, especially for the teenagers, right? So the uterus is so sensitive because to expel the blood from the uterus, it needs some chemicals that is called prostaglandins. So these prostaglandins works on the uterus that squeeze the uterus, the blood comes out. Some persons are so sensitive to this prostaglandin, so that's why they end up with the cramps and everything. So usually Motrin works, so she can
Midol?
take just in the beginning of 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, not every day or something. Usually cramps happen first 2-3 days.
Yeah.
After that it ease up. So during that period they can take some painkillers, or if they have gastritis, the different aracoxia, something there, so they can take those too.
So is there anything that she can do prior to the actual, pain medications? Like, for instance, getting hot,
Yeah,
hot,
the regular remedies,
remedies.
some
putting it on
what
your
you call,
stomach.
those
Yeah.
things, but that it works, I don't know, that works for the severe pain, maybe that works for mild to moderate pain.
Ease you and make it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But then if she's at school, then that's an issue. So you would only recommend, just taking the pain medications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Prior
the
to
one.
going to
Yeah,
school.
that blocks that prostaglandins, so that minimize that. That's the only option.
So I know of someone who has fibroids, and it's an issue having to do the whole procedure to get it out. I know the procedure I used was embolization, right, which was very effective for me. What are other means of either dissolving or extracting fibroids from the body so that they can live that healthier, and have better periods? For sure.
Yeah, because the fibroids are actually not cancerous; those are the benign. Because of this, estrogen sensitive areas become overworked and become like a fibroids, but actually they won't shrink. So usually perimenopause, menopausal age, if they have smaller size, so okay, they can shrink. If they're having the big size, and sometimes they have the 10 centimeters, those sizes, they won't shrink much. If you're having any discomfort or anything, not only bleeding issues, that causes some pressure issues and discomfort during the relationship time too, that causes discomfort. If you have any discomfort, you have to underwent embolization or fibroids or something. That's the only option.
Okay, so I look like, it seems as if we all over the place today, y'all, because we are, I guess the person that texted probably just tuning in, but I'll ask the question again, but I know her response, I'll just allow her to ask. Is douching good? That's a question from someone to text.
No, I'm always advising, don't put anything in the vagina. Once you are feeling comfortable and everything, don't put anything in the vagina. Vagina is a self-cleaning organ. Don't douche. Don't put, some people will put the towel and they clean vagina. Not necessary. That damages the delicate mucosa. That flare ups all the infections. Once again, BV and yeast infections. So you don't need to put anything in the vagina. You are
Hold on, you're saying
harming.
not to use the towel?
Yeah. Why you use the towel and put inside?
Not inside, but you use it like to open the flaps and
No flaps, okay, but no, somebody.
Go ahead.
Somebody.
Just don't put it in
Yeah, in
Okay,
the
I got you.
vagina,
I
and they
got
will
you.
clean
Yeah,
and
all right.
they will do those things.
Yes.
So we are not advising all those things.
Yes.
If you put anything into the vagina, that you are harming your vagina. That's it.
Okay. Okay, so text her, no douching, no if you use she spoke earlier about what was it that we said with the you can use oh man, I forgot. What was it? The you ain't helping me, Doc. What was it that you said that someone can use? The boric acid.
Boric acid,
is the only thing that you would
probiotics,
prefer.
Yeah, but that is only boric acid is only if we having a recurrent
Recurrent yeast
infections. So you can try that, but I'm not advising.
No.
Yeah, that's the
She
thing.
ain't
But
advising.
not like to maintain regular, to maintain vaginal health or something. Don't use that.
Okay, so let's now. All right, let me get to this question then. There's another WhatsApp question that says, "Hi Trish, great show. Ask her about the post-hysterectomy vagina. What to expect." Now, mind you, for those who are tuning in, we are all over the place. I was trying so hard to try to put things in order, but because I want to make sure that everyone gets their questions answered, we're just gonna let it flow. Okay, so that's fine. Let's ask. Hysterectomy vagina, post-hysterectomy vagina, what to expect.
Yeah, post hysterectomy means so hysterectomy. It depends upon you removed just uterus or including both ovaries. That is important. If you remove the uterus, that's okay because the ovaries are taking over the hormonal thing. Sorry.
You want to drink some of your water? Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, excuse.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So, yeah, sorry. So once you have the two ovaries, they are taking off your hormonal balances and everything. So once only remove the uterus, that's okay, no problem.
Okay. All right, so let's get back to this question then. I haven't forgotten you. I have 6 children and I don't feel as tight as I used to be. Is there something I can use to make my vagina tight like I used to be before having my children?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a nice question, but it's difficult to answer
What
all
about
those things.
what about Kegel exercises?
Yeah,
and-
I'm going to explain.
Yeah.
Actually, vaginal diameter is 1.5 inch. Means this. From throat that the baby comes, this big baby comes, right? So there is a lot of stretching in the vagina. Not only in the vagina, there are also a lot of stretch in the pelvic muscles too. That need to stretch, and also they get sometimes episiotomy, the clipping
Yes.
and everything. That also disturbs the muscle alignment and everything. But usually it go back to normal, but not like 100% normal. Still there is some little bit loose there, okay? But one thing I can advise for all female after delivery, wait for 6 weeks, and after, because for the 6 weeks the uterus and everything comes to normal size. So after 6 weeks, do the pelvic floor muscle exercises, Kegels and other pelvic exercises are there. Please to tighten up the vagina and pelvic muscles. So once you do all those things, that help you in long way, because once during the menopause and perimenopause time, once the estrogen drops, all the muscles become so lax. So you end up with the prolapses and incontinence, urinary incontinence and flatus incontinence, and also prolapses. So to avoid all these, please, all females do pelvic floor muscle exercises every day.
Every day. Every day. That's for every female. Whether if you are tight or not, right?
But
Tight or not, because the person was had the issue.
yeah, no tight or not, because
Could still do it.
Everybody need to end up
Lord
with the
have mercy.
perimenopause, menopausal age.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So we are living in that stage almost 30 years. We are living. So we need to start from.
So now that you opened up the door for the perimenopause talk, right? Perimenopause and menopause. We know that the estrogen levels change, as you've stated. What happens to the vagina during this stage of life, and why do some women experience dryness burning, reoccurring UTIs, less lubrication, and painful sex.
Yeah. So our genital system is highly influenced by the estrogen, progesterone hormones. Actually, whole body. Once we enter into the perimenopause, every organ experiences something strange.
Yeah.
So you also experience everything from the skin, and also sweating smell difference, the skin texture changes, hair texture changes, and everything changes. So everything got influenced by the estrogen. So what happens in our feminine structures, so mainly bladder and vagina and uterus, these things, that is called genitourinary syndrome. Genito means vagina and uterus, urinary bladder and urethra, syndrome. This is called syndrome. So what happened to bladder and urethra? Because of estrogen, because the ovary is actually present in our body when we are in the womb, means in the womb, mother womb. So from that, the ovaries are secreting estrogen hormones, and so once it reaches certain stage, they want retirement. They want to slow down. So then they stop producing estrogen hormone. So all the changes happens. So the bladder, what happens to bladder? The mucosa become thinned out. It become more sensitive. So you see the frequency of urination. And also once the muscle become weak, bladder muscles, the sphincters also become weak. So sometimes if you cough, sneeze,
Something come
leak happens. And also the bladder want to push all the urine out. So some leftover urine is there. Sometimes that create the environment for the bacterial growth. So that's why recurrent UTIs are common.
Yeah.
That's one. So that is the bladder issues. Once comes to the vagina, so the vagina also, the vagina epithelium also become thinned out. So no secretions. So you feel dryness. And also vaginal walls also, it become less collagen production, so less elasticity. And also they become little bit rigid and become narrow. So that's why you feel the sex also painful, little bit irritable and everything. So that's why we always advise use some lubricants if you're having some issues about during the intimacy time. So according to studies now, estrogen cream, vaginal estrogen cream is working really good for the both bladder, because the bladder is just in front of the vagina. Once you use the vaginal cream, so at least it works only locally. It won't go into the main body or something. Even though absorb very minimal, that won't affect your body. So that acts locally, making regenerate the vagina and also bladder. According to studies, it is giving good results actually.
Estrogen, the vaginal estrogen cream. Okay.
So, and for the tightening, right? What she is asking. For the tightening, I advise the pelvic floor muscle exercises. And also nowadays, they are coming some radio frequency, ultrasound and laser machines to tighten the vagina and regenerate the vagina. But those are effective, not 100% effective. They might give effective only for the beginning stages, early stages, but not in later stages or anything. If she really want, surgical procedure is the only option. Try pelvic exercises, all those things. So that's the only option.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is take a quick break, and after the break, I want to talk more about the estrogen vaginal cream. Like, where do you get that? Is it something over the counter? Is it something that you just, talk to your gynecologist about and ask, for a prescription to get, and how often should you use it? And then I also want to talk about lubrication, like what type of lubricants to get, what is best, what is feasible. We hear about the home remedies as well, so we want to discard those if possible. just to ensure that our vagina stays healthy, I know you said we use the term vagina, but, as women, we know that it comes with various parts, the clitoris, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for those who are tuning in, that's what we're talking about today. All about just our vaginal health and trying to figure out what our kitties are telling us, because the scent may be off, the discharge may be off, your period flow may be off, and that's why we have our Dr. Diyya here, so that she can share and educate us, and so that we can be healthier, right? Because a healthy vagina is a healthy woman, right? It's a happy woman, right?
Happy.
Exactly. A healthy vagina is a happy woman. Ask me how I know. Let's take a break, right? Chris laughing at me. Let's take a break and we'll get right back to you with these answers as soon as we're back on.
Mm-hmm.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your family. With non-GMO ingredients and BPA-free packaging, you can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back-to-school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Hello, welcome back everyone to Your Lane Talk Show with your coach Trish Hanna, broadcasting live here in Nassau, Bahamas on the Guardian Radio 96.9 FM dial. Our guest for today is Dr. Suneetha Diyya, and she is an obstetrician and gynecologist talking to us about our vaginal health. The topic today is the kitty checkup, what your vagina is trying to tell you. Is your vagina talking to you? Everybody's vagina should be talking to them, okay? Whether it's, I'm good, I don't have any unhealthy discharge, the scent of my vagina, as Dr. Diyya stated, it should just be normal. It shouldn't have a fishy scent. If there is a tint of fishiness, check it out. Go see a gynecologist about it. She also shared about, the various discharge. It should be clear in some instances. If you're ovulating, it should have like a sticky scent, almost like not white, really, white and sticky.
Yeah.
And then if there is like BV, the BV would normally be like a grayish discharge, and if it's yeast infection, the yeast infection is normally like cottage cheese, like chunky white, and sometimes green.
Chlamydia, gonorrhea,
Chlamydia, right? That would be the right.
yellow
Right,
greenish
and then in
colors.
that case, that may be an STI that you truly need to
Yeah.
go and see
Check with the doctor.
your doctor about. All right. So before our break, we were saying that we want to discuss. She's mentioned estrogen vaginal cream. Is this something that you could just go to the pharmacy and get, or is this something that needs a prescription? I mean, walk over the counter or a prescription.
No. It is not available on over the counter. So you have to get the prescription from your gynecologist. So usually it comes like just like you use the canestrine cream and everything, right? So the same way. But the plunger has a measurement 0.5, 1 gram, 0.5 gram, 2 grams, like that. So first you have to take how much you want. Usually we advise 0.5 to 1 gram. So you have to take the cream and insert the cream, and afterwards you need to wash the hands and everything. Okay?
Yeah,
So
you gotta wash your hands, please.
Yeah, so afterwards spread the cream.
Use
So
your
just
fingertips.
don't leave the cream like that. You need to spread the cream through the vagina.
So this is something that should be done in the night. Going to bed.
Before going
Yeah,
bed.
yeah.
That's it. So you usually be advised twice a weekly, but you see the results not immediately. It takes 2 or 3 weeks.
And this helps with what again?
It helps to, you see the lubrication and moistureness increases. If you have any irritation, that will come out. And also if you're having any urinary incontinence, mild incontinence, just when you cough or sneeze, if you're seeing some drips, so better use these things.
That helps with that.
Yes.
Okay.
The studies are proving the vaginal estrogen is good. But one thing is, don't scare. One more important thing I have to tell. So even breast cancer patients who survived from the breast cancer, they also use this estrogen vaginal cream. According to studies, they are giving clearance to use by them. And also it only acts locally, very minimal amount absorbs into the into the system. So it is safest one.
Okay, so now let's talk, because you mentioned lubrication. So what is the best lubrication to use, or the safest to use? Because sometimes when you're in a rush and you hurry, you just get whatever Vaseline on the table, whatever what is scented with the cherry scent and all this other stuff, and we know that some certain things are not good for the vagina. So speak to us about that.
Just vaginal lubricants actually comes as a water based, silicone based, and oil based. So better go with non-fragrance one. Don't use any scented one, please. So usually water-based one is good, but you have to, it all depends upon how your sex life is going on, means it long period or short period. So once you use a short period, so you can use a water-based, but if you want more, so you can reapply recurrently. So it's with the water-based. But water-based advantage is you can wash easily.
Right.
That's the thing. Silicone you can use, that works for a couple of minutes more compared to water-based. But one thing is, once we are using toys, I think silicone toys, we won't advise the silicone-based. Times that destroys the toys or something. With the silicone, water-based, no problem. And once comes to the oil-based one, coconut oil, natural oil and everything, but you can use, but I don't know, the consistency and everything, those are not that slippery, not that thick consistency. I don't know how much.
It's natural.
It's natural, but the main part here is to avoid the friction, right?
Yeah. So you want to get something that's specific for that.
Avoid the friction, damage to
causes-
vagina. So that's the thing. So
Tears.
that's the main thing. So if once you have the tears and everything friction, you end up with the infections like BV and yeast infections. So that's the main advantage. What we need, slippery one. So with the oily one thing is important I want to mention. If we are using condoms, don't use oily one, because that weakens the condoms. The breakage chances are more. So you can get STIs, you can get what do you call pregnancy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one thing.
Pregnancy is a dirty word for me.
Because
No, I'm kidding. God,
so
God
that
bless me
happens.
with 3, but
And
be good.
also, I want to tell you
Yeah.
the oral sex and this is for the natural sexes, okay? For an unnatural sexes like back and oral sex, right? So because sometimes that causes these infections sometimes.
The oral sex. Yeah.
Because our mouth, there are so many bacteria.
Yeah.
And human bite is more dangerous than animal bite.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can understand, right?
Okay.
Now, so that's why I advise you use some condoms on dental dams, something to cut dental dams and something. And also nowadays I see some panties, L'Oreal panties to use them.
Panties for oral sex?
Oh yeah, see.
Educate us, Doc. Educate us, please.
So you can go with the
Right.
Laurel's brand. This is one of the. You can Google it.
Laurels. Lorals.
Yeah.
Y'all Google that for me, y'all. Google that.
So Laurel's.
So these
those
are
are
oral
the designed
sex
for
panties.
this. Just check that one and also better use condoms when you are using some unnatural sexes. Okay. So different condoms to avoid these infections to transmit to the partners.
Okay. We will look into that. Oh, I see it. Okay, so we will look into that. All right. Okay, so as we are wrapping up, because we are, and I'm unable to answer, I think about 2 more questions here, but I'm unable to answer that at the moment because we want to wrap up. We want to ask you, Dr. Diyya, there is something else here though that I want to. If you could give women a simple vaginal health routine to follow throughout their lives, what would you tell them to do regularly, and what should they avoid, and what signs should never be ignored or treated at home? So this kind of wraps up everything we spoke about today about our vaginal health.
Yeah, just first comes to the cleaning. As usually use simple water and mild soap and cleansers. Don't put even the soap directly on the area. Just take hand and dilute it and wash it. And for the once you comes to the clothes, so don't use what's the detergents, strong detergents? No way. Even dryer sheets, no way. And better use cotton breathable panties. So if you want to change multiple times in a day instead of using the panty shields. So panty shields sometimes that causes aggravate the infection by creating the wettiness in the bottom area. So that's the one. And one more thing is healthy sexual habits.
Yeah.
Especially for the females, they have to. If not, they end up with the infections. That's one thing. And, pubic hair. We missed that.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. Come on, let's go, Doc. Hurry up, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the God created the pubic hair for a purpose, right? The sweet, sensitive baby, right? So, but we are taking out that one. So, yeah, okay, take out. But you end up with sometimes bumps and ingrow hair and
Okay, we
everything.
go for waxing.
Yeah, so waxing. Yeah, you guys do laser and waxing. And if you're shaving means sometimes if you getting frequent bumps or ingrowing hair follicles or something, trimmers also best though.
Yeah.
So instead of shaving, cutting the skin and everything, some people so it better go for the trimmers. Yeah.
Yeah. So trimmers, they're actually in the aisle where the razors are. And of course it's much easier, to be honest. It's easier to use.
So use,
what are your thoughts on using like Nair and Neat?
Yeah, so some because that area is so sensitive, I don't know. Everybody accept that irritation and everything. Sometimes it causes irritation. So many people comes for same complaints because I shaved it and I used the hair removal
Yeah.
cream and everything. After that, I got burning sensation, and it end up with discharge, vaginal discharge, and everything. So first test it before use it.
Yes.
So because that bottom area, especially the opening area, that is so sensitive. The pubic area, that is not that, but the down area is very sensitive. So you need to be very careful.
And the reason why we suggest shaving and waxing, etc., not necessarily shaving, but waxing, etc., because it's so hot, which is another reason why I know you said that the hair is used to protect, but then the hair also, look at me telling the doctor, look at me telling the gynecologist, now correct me if I'm wrong, please, ma'am. I ain't coming to take over. But it also, like, stores up sweat, right? It causes excess sweat, no? With the
No,
hair.
see, if
so
you-
you trim it just to make
Yeah,
sure that
trim
you,
it.
you,
Yeah,
you
if
smell
you feel-
healthier, smell
yeah.
better, etc.
If you want to keep it here, in olden days, what our grandparents doing? They're doing all the waxing? No, right?
No.
Just
They
if-
weren't doing that.
Nothing, right?
Right.
But they survived and
They
live
survived.
happily, right?
They survived.
So
Okay.
if you want, you can just trim it, or if you want, if you don't want wax, it's all up to you. Whatever you want to
preference.
do,
Yeah.
but do in proper way.
Yeah.
Don't hurt her. That's the main thing.
Don't what? Sorry.
Hurt her.
Don't hurt. Okay, I got you. All right. I think we covered everything. I think we covered. I think we have 1 minute to answer something. I feel so bad because I like to get everyone's questions out. And we're gonna bring you back for menopause, but I just want to share real quick. The question is asked: does menopause decrease your desire for sex? So you can answer that real quick, and then
Yeah,
we'll bring you
we-
back on the show to talk
Yeah, one
specifically
thing
about
is
menopause.
because of menopause time, all the hormones drops down. Yeah, that thing happens, especially because of for the arousal, we need some testosterone hormone. That also drops. You think testosterone is only for the male? No, for the females too. Mainly to build the muscle and also for the arousal thing.
What is it?
To
No, what's
strong
the- what should-
arousal, testosterone hormone.
So you think females should be taking testosterone?
No.
Oh,
No, usually we have some hormone.
right.
Because actually, according to studies, they are introducing testosterone in mild dose for the
For the
female
females? Oh, no.
for to solve these libido problems.
Right. So what?
But it still is not available. I think it's available in Australia and
Mm-hmm.
UK, I think, not in USA too.
So then, what can persons who are going through perimenopause and menopause, who may have a lower libido level due to those issues, use to help with to increase their libido?
That's there is exactly nothing there to increase the libido or something, really. So one thing is you need to how the relation you need to be touching and what do you call
Foreplay.
yeah,
Yeah.
foreplay and all those things. Yeah. So just you need to work out those things. Yeah. But according to studies, what I mentioned, testosterone, they are trying to use that one.
Yeah.
But still studies are happening because right, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, to just recently FDA gave the approval.
They have some stuff out there though.
They kept in the some part away. Those
there are
not-
some natural stuff though. There are some natural remedies.
Natural
But I
remedies.
know doctors don't really recommend. Come on, y'all don't really recommend natural stuff. I don't know why. But I had someone on the show about bush medicine that suggested a few things, and that was very helpful. So if those who want to find out what that is, it's called what's the name of the show? What's in Your Backyard? I think that's episode 179, if I'm not
79,
certain.
okay.
Yeah, so you can go on the show.
will check.
And she literally suggested some bush medicine that can be used to help with the libido for women and men. And that actually works. That people came back and say, yes, it's been proven and it is true.
So maybe that's I'm not okay.
I'm just saying, because you won't, honestly, let's be real, you don't find that many doctors who would suggest natural remedies for things, right? Am I right?
Yeah, natural remedies usually for libido, really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any final thing before we ask? We want to know how we can reach you. But is there anything else that you would want to suggest to those who are tuning in as far as our vagina is concerned that we may have missed?
I think we almost
We covered everything?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Would you come
so
back to talk to us on menopause?
Definitely.
Yay!
It's really, I'm so excited to come back once again.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Definitely next time. Yeah. We will
Yes.
discuss about the menopause.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
topic.
Can you share then your social media platforms?
So I'm available.
Your phone
I think,
contact, your office?
Yeah, I'm work as a gynecology consultant in Mount Olive Medical Clinic. It's available in Robinson Road and in the One West. Yeah.
One West Plaza?
One West Plaza. And yeah, my social media, I'm available on TikTok like Dr. Diyya, and in Facebook as Suneetha Diyya, Dr. Diyya, and in Instagram, same Suneetha Diyya or Dr. Diyya.
So
Yeah.
it's Dr. Diyyaa, correct?
Yeah, Diyya. You spell wrong.
I spelled it wrong?
Yes.
Diyyaa.
Yeah, I think I need to. So that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay
Say
because
it because you say it so fast so they could find you on social media.
Suneetha Suneetha
Yes.
Diyya Diyya.
Oh, Diyyaa. I was saying Diyyaa. Okay, my bad. All right, so we're gonna reach out to Dr. Diyya. Diyya or Diyya?
Anyone is okay, no problem.
Which one do you say?
Usually Diyya.
Diyya. All right. So Dr. Diyya, so that we can get more information about how to deal with our health and whatever our bodies may want to tell us, because it's more than our vagina talking, right? And so many other things on our bodies that may be sharing things. One moment we could have issues in our breast, pain in our breast, pain in our backs, pain in our throat. All these various things that our bodies are showing us, but we don't want to ignore them. But we have questions and we don't know how to answer them. We can't just go to Dr. Google for everything, because if you leave it up to Dr. Google, you can end up dead in 2 days. So don't rely on Dr. Google for these various symptoms that you have. Go and see a gynecologist.
Yeah, one more thing. I also recently started a telemedicine just for the female health. I'm available as a, my God.
Go ahead, it's fine.
I'm available as a her choice telemedicine. So if you have any personal issues or something, so you can contact me, but at a very reasonable price. So
You want to
So
share
you
the
can-
contact number?
801 9000.
801-9000.
Yes.
Okay, 801-9000 if you want to reach out to Dr. Diyya. All right. So I was so excited about this show, and I am not disappointed at all, at the least. And she will be back to talk to us about menopause, and we're going to make sure we get her in and on board. So once again, your lane with Coach Trish Hanna, the Kitty Checkup with your you is brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Tropical Gyros, Your Lane Life Coaching. You can go to www.yourlanelifecoaching.com for all your relationship and life coaching needs. We're also brought to you by the Children's Dream Journal. You can find that journal at our center in Palmdale or on Amazon. We're also brought to you by Lysol, Del Monte, and Airwick, distributed by Thompson Trading. We're brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, and we're brought to you by 242 Media Connect. Now, next week, our topic is entitled One Flesh, Understanding God's Design for Marital Intimacy. Now, I want you all to go ahead and study 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 3 to 5 now, because I don't want nobody coming with no silly questions, and don't know if you ain't read it. Now, if you study it and you have a question, that's fine, but if you just run amok, because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, what if he doing this or what if he ain't doing that? We're going to talk about what the Bible says. We're going to talk about what God requires us as women to do and what not to do. That's what we're doing. So we're not going by hearsay. We're not going by feelings. We're going by the truth, which is the word of God. So the topic next week is going to be the foundation is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3 to 5. Go and study it and come back next week at 3:30 p.m. Okay? Thank you to Your Lane listeners. thank you to Dr. Diyya. She's been such a blessing. Thank you to our producer. And happy belated birthday to you, Chris. All right, Chris, you what, 17, 18? Hey, what? What? He looks 17, 18, y'all. Chris, you single? Chris is single. I am going to take a picture of Chris before the end of this show, and I'm going to post it on all my social media platforms. If you're truly serious about a committed relationship, y'all reach out to me, and I see if I could hook y'all up, okay? And so thank you once again. I am Coach Trish Hanna. We are on air every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I pray that you were all empowered, educated, and encouraged, not just to stay in your lane, but to pay attention to what your kitty is trying to tell you. And until next time, happy Sunday, everyone. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.